Welcome to the final podcast for 2025. And what a way to finish. Of course, we're finishing with my favorite films for the year. Not best, as I've stated in all of these episodes. This comes under the banner of favorites. And Garth Jones was very generous and in his time off helped me go through this list. So, yep. We're 81 episodes into this season, so this will be the final episode of this season, and it'll also be the final episode of the year. And we've had a good one. I think it's been a good, fun podcast this year. Been a few changes. I'll take a little bit of a break. Probably not much of a break. There's so much going on in January. I'll be back pretty soon, but this will be officially the end of this season, and then we'll come back quite soon, actually. So keep an eye out for that. Before we bring in Garth, just one final shout out to Wonder Pies, who came on as sponsor for the last quarter of the year. They approached me about being a sponsor for this podcast, and it was great because not only are the people behind the scenes fantastic, but also their product is delicious. And as I have said before, if you are vegetarian or vegan, you are also catered for. So they have a broad range of pastries that will appeal and nobody is left out. So if you're in Victoria, you can find one of their outlets around the city and just outside of it. And if not, head over to their website, wonderpies.com.au, and you can find boxes of stuff that you can purchase that can be sent to you. And, you can just have them ready to go whenever it suits you. This is another longer podcast, so let's not waste too much time with an intro. I'll bring in Garth, and then I'll come back at the end and we'll have a quick summation and we'll touch base before I sign off for the rest of the year. Okay, here's Garth. Garth Jones is back after helping me go through the favourite TV shows of 2025, and now we're going to go through favourite movies. Stressing the word favourite, we're not saying it's the best. We are not that up ourselves. Well, we are, but not enough to say that this is the best. There's a very big difference, right?
I'm cosplaying as Lee Raybone today to after end of last night.
How many eps did you get in?
Only one, but I finished Pluribus, but we'll get to that after the podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm all in on Lowdown as well, for sure. Yep.
Oh, mate, did it appeal immediately? Like it's
much fun.
Ethan Hawke, what a powerhouse. All right. So like the favorite TV shows, we'll go favorite movies from 10 to 1. Then we've got some honorable mentions. And then as we were discussing before we started recording, there's some movies that came out in 2024 that I didn't get to see until this year, or they weren't released until this year, and I didn't know where to put them. So I put them in their own little category, or otherwise I thought it will get way too confusing. But coming in at number 10 is the first of two Alex Garner productions, and this one is Warfare. Did you get to see Warfare?
No, I did not, no.
This is, I think it's the Francois Truffaut quote that states that you can't make an anti-war film because invariably you make it exciting and you kind of undermine that it's anti-war, and there's some exceptions to the rule. The Russian film Come and See is often noted as the perfect example of that. And I think this succeeds as a proper anti-war film. Alex Garland wrote and directed it with Ray Mendoza, who based his film on his experiences during the Iraq War as a US Navy SEAL. And it depicts an encounter on the 19th of November 2006 after the Battle of Ramadi. And the script is drawn from all the testimonies of the platoon members and is presented in real time. It has an incredible cast, including DeFaro Wunate, who was one of the leads in Reservation Dogs, Will Poulter, Cosmo Jarvis, Kit Connor, Finn Bennett, Joseph Quinn, and Charles Melton. And it is You know what? It goes for exactly the right amount of time that it needs to go for, which is 95 minutes. It is
I think
intense.
we
Yeah,
perfect. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
and it tells the story that it wants to tell. And I think people might be thinking, what's the point of this film? Well, the point of the film is the final scene where after this incredible encounter, we see uh, the effect it has on the people who are left behind, which is not giving anything away. But you see that and you go, oh, that's what the film is about. And I don't know, I just kind of find Alex Garland uh, just seems to go from strength to strength. There's something still quite indie about him,
Mhm.
something that's very much anti-establishment, and I thought this was a fantastic film, and I think this would appeal to you as well.
Okay. Yep.
So that comes in at number 10. Number nine. Uh, I feel like my 10 to 7 were all difficult to know what order to put them in, and then my 6 to 4 were difficult, and then
Mhm.
like it's funny. It all comes down to a little bit of mood. But coming in at number 9 was Weapons. Now you saw Weapons, didn't you?
I saw it, of course. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Uh, for those of you who haven't seen it, 17 children from a third grade classroom in the town of Maybrook, Pennsylvania, run out of their homes at 2:17 a.m. and disappear. And only one student, Alex Lilly, remains. And their teacher, Justine Gandy, is placed on leave on suspicion that she is responsible for their disappearance. And this is a horror film, but I loved how it was kind of broken down into uh, chapters,
Yep.
and each chapter had a slightly different flavor of horror, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it bounced around a few different sort of flavors or genres, I guess, like the suspense, the sort of more grounded, sort of junky, sort of
Yeah,
desperation.
yeah,
All over the map. Josh Brolin, sort of the dad on the edge.
yeah,
Yep. Hunting for the daughter. I'm sorry, hunting for the child.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
and Zach Cregger sort of coming out of Barbarian and really knocking it out of the park with just something that I thought was really tight, really
yes,
intense,
yes,
and just fun.
yeah,
Yeah, and the twist, with the inverted commas twist, just being a whole bonkers sort of
right.
theme park ride.
Yeah. And
Rushing it.
also really funny. But
Yep.
sometimes you're laughing, and in the middle of laughing, you're like, oh Jesus, that's full on. Like the ending.
Well, yeah, like I've sort of pointed out somewhere else, it's like he's in a competition with Ari Aster, who made Eddington this year. The head trauma award seems to sort of bounce back and forth in terms of who can come up with the best, crushed skull at
Yes,
whatever point.
yes.
Yeah.
I thought this was great. I reckon it's one of the hardest I've heard a cinema laugh at
Mm.
certain points in this film, but also a lot of gasping and just a great premise. And Amy Madigan,
I was going to say that
unrecognizable.
Dark Half's Madigan from 1991. She was in George Romero's adaptation of Stephen King's Dark Half. So that was that reveal.
Yeah, yeah, heck of a journey for her. Julia
A big
Garner,
one. Yeah.
also great, and Alden Ehrenreich
Yes.
just continues to be a really underrated actor for me. I think he's fantastic.
The mustache, that takes him to the next level too.
Took him right to the next level. Absolutely. I'd
I think
watch.
two performers this year with mustache or late last year, like Jude Law,
Yeah,
that was just taken straight into the stratosphere with a mustache
yeah,
and a bit of
yeah,
a gut.
yeah. It's amazing how it can really transform some people for better and
Oh,
worse.
yep, straight in there.
This was also a massive hit, which is nice to see an
I,
original film doing really well at the
I think
cinemas.
he's going to make some IP next with Resident Evil. So
That's what, yes.
yes,
Which
but who knows?
is
But
you have you ever played Resident Evil? No.
I played a little bit. I mean, I'm aware of the Paul W.S. Anderson films with Mila
Yes.
Jovovich.
Yeah.
But, I think the original premise, I can see him working in that wheelhouse when it's
Yeah.
less Lovecraftian monsters, I guess.
Yeah.
Slightly low key than the stuff that ended up getting released in the Mortal Kombat sort of zone that Paul W.S. Anderson works.
Yeah, yeah, of
So yeah,
course.
I'm just keen to see what he comes up with for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? He's certain directors just do enough early on that you go, great, all right, well,
Yeah,
you're gonna
yeah,
have a few failures for me to not want to check out what you're doing next.
absolutely. Yeah, he's a lot of fun. A lot of
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Coming in at number 8 for me is the new Lynn Ramsey film, Die My Love, which was
Ooh.
starring Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson. Did you see this?
Yeah, it should be higher. But yep, go on.
It's look, I
I know.
thought this was spectacular.
On my ass a few times. As maybe as a sort of companion piece to Aronofsky's Mother
Yeah,
with Jennifer Lawrence as well. But yeah, this is such a great film, and I don't know that it got that widely released either for anyone to see it. But whew,
yeah.
just incredible. Yeah,
It's a wonderful two-hander, one-hander. Jennifer Lawrence is the star, but Robert Pattinson is right
yeah,
there in it with
yeah,
her. And Robert Pattinson's uncle leaves his Montana home to him after his death, and Jackson decides to move there from New York with his pregnant girlfriend Grace. And soon after the couple moves in, Grace gives birth to a baby boy, and things kind of start to fall apart. She's dealing with postnatal depression and also some really serious themes and some really interesting ways of looking at it, and moments that made you feel really cringy, but also I laughed a lot in this film as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Like it's a whole gamut of emotions.
Yeah, Lynn Ramsey sort of just sort of grabs you by the scruff of the neck and just sort of drags you around, in whatever she does. But yeah, this one I was sort of I kept a friend of mine's he curates the films at the local cinema that's attached to the gallery.
Yep.
And I was just bombarding him on Instagram saying, "When are you going to get it? When are you going to get it? When are you going to get it?" Couldn't do it, so I had to see it in another city. But yeah,
What a shame that he couldn't get his hands
sometimes
on it.
I know it's tough out there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Lynn Ramsey's films are always like like you say, yeah, one moment you're sort of cringing and sort of crawling inside yourself, and the next, yeah, something absolutely hilarious happens.
Yeah.
And this is on point.
Yeah. And there's a lot of great actresses around at the moment. I reckon the great younger actresses far outweigh the young male
Yes.
actors, even though there's some
Yeah.
really good male actors. But I think there's just a real pool of great female talent coming through, probably because they're all starting their own production companies and taking more
Yeah.
control of themselves and therefore creating work that suits them. But this film to me was a little bit like Jennifer Lawrence coming in and going, hey, don't forget, I'm right here and I am
Yeah.
a force
I
of
might have
nature.
done the creepy girlfriend movie.
Yeah.
But she's
I thought that was funny.
the one. Yeah, I didn't see it, but yeah, I read the synopsis and I was like, oh, really? Oh, okay.
It's
But
the genre that it is. I thought it was a pretty
yeah,
funny, and
yeah, cool.
there is a scene where she's totally naked and punches someone out that made me laugh really hard. So
Right.
it's not quite what you would expect,
Okay, cool.
but
Yeah, it's not
but
Charlie Brother.
yeah, but she's just a powerhouse in this,
Yeah,
and Patterson's so good that he can match it.
yes. Yeah, and just inhabits that sort of like, she's going to write a novel, he's going to be a musician, and it's like, oh God, here we go.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
the baby, the two of you, this is going to be an absolute car wreck, and
yeah.
off to the races, really.
Yeah, yeah. I really
Yeah,
loved it. Sissy Spacek is also
yes.
really
And Nick
underrated.
Nolte.
Nick Nolte's great.
Nick,
Just
yeah, yep,
barely hanging on in character and probably
to life.
in life. Yeah. But
I think,
this was fantastic. This was, once again, it's like I'll name the movies ahead of it, and it kind of
it's
depends
top.
on your mood, you know?
Yes, yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely. Down if you can. Yeah, it's definitely worth seeing on a big screen too.
yeah, yeah. So coming in at number 7 is a movie you just mentioned, which is Eddington, which I know so many people did not like, thought it under-delivered. and did not find it that funny. And I just don't agree with any of them.
Well, at the end of the day, are you looking in around the planet on which you live and seeing
Yeah,
what's happening? I mean, one of the biggest political issues in the States at the moment is like data centers being,
yeah,
just shoved down communities' throats,
yeah,
and sort of political manipulation that goes into that, where it's like against everyone's best interest, health wise,
yeah,
but it's for the economy.
yeah,
And this is what the entire film's hinged around 5 years ago, during COVID,
yeah,
um, which probably makes it more uncomfortable for people to watch because they don't want to think about COVID
yeah,
and how, the film sort of infers that, that was our breaking point, and that, the sort of the final third is sort of like almost like a video game because we've all sort of just retreated into our screens.
yeah.
Um, I guess that hurts to think about it.
Yeah, I think so. And
Yeah.
also, look, it's a deeply cynical film,
Yeah. I
and
mean, yeah.
yeah, but I agreed with the cynicism. Like I try not to be a
Mhm.
cynical person. I make a concerted effort to not be cynical because I think it's an easy
Yep.
cul-de-sac to find yourself trapped in. But like the whole film is, we see. Well, first of all, I should just point out this is set in late May of 2020, and as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, Mayor Ted Garcia of Eddington, New Mexico, implements a lockdown and enforces mask mandates based on the governor's orders at the state level. But local sheriff Joe Cross disapproves, arguing the mandates violate freedom of choice. And Joe, who lives with his emotionally unstable wife Louise and her conspiracy theorist mother Dawn, maybe shouldn't be the person that you're taking any life suggestions from. But to me, the whole setup of the film is the first scene, which is the guy muttering to himself, coming into town,
Yep.
chock full of COVID,
Yep.
quite clearly going crazy, walking
Yep.
past the data center, where it's going to be set up, etc. And throughout the whole film, everyone's arguing their points. Oh, you've
And that was,
freedom of choice.
yeah.
Well, I'm just doing
Yeah.
what the government's telling me to do, and these are the rules. And you know, kids taking on arguments for important topics, but doing it for the wrong reasons,
Yep.
and only being able to argue things on very superficial levels. And nobody helps that guy. Like throughout the
No.
film, every time he's present, the problem that is right in front of their eyes, everyone turns away from, or it's dismisses out of embarrassment,
Yeah.
or actually not having any empathy for who's standing right in front of them. And the fact that where the movie ends, the threat of where the movie is going is realized and is in that last shot bigger than the town. That tells you
Yes.
everything.
Yep. Yep. It's probably, I mean, I try not to do top 10 lists, but like I
Mm,
think I ended up sort of, my list sort of fell in to that sort of order. But yeah, I think it sits with the other film that's at the top of the list. They're a good bracket bookend
yes.
sort of films. The other one that sort of sits at the top of that list, which
Yeah.
I'm sure I can guess. But I mean, just some of the visual gags in this too. Like just the fact the sheriff can't, it's the misspelled signage on the car.
Mate, it is so. So I saw this at a little preview for, I don't know, podcasters, reviewers, people like
Yep.
that. And I stayed right till the end because I just had such a great time, watching this film. And then when I was in the lift with some of the three of the critics or whoever they were like, "Oh, what an awful film!" And just nothing happened until the end. And it's like nothing happened, like so much happened. And
Yeah.
and I said to them, "Did you not find it funny that he he was misspelling things in his text messages and his car and everything?" And they were like, "Yeah, yeah, I noticed it, but." Like
Well,
they didn't find it funny. And I'm like, well, if you don't find that funny, then the majority of the humor is going to fly way over your head.
I mean, the fact that like he goes there with the Antifa super soldiers, like,
Yes.
jetting them in for the final, and people mistaking that for something that they're like, I'd seen some people read that as Asta was openly supporting that as like a official theory or like as an official thing that happens.
Right.
Like they read it as that's what happens. Yeah, yeah, they jet them in. That's that's the thing. It's like fucking Jesus
Right.
Christ.
The whole thing's a satire. Like
That
it,
yeah, but I lost it with the super soldiers on the plane. That was just yeah,
so funny.
so great.
Yeah,
That's
and
the internet brain that's at work.
yeah, and
At
you know,
least
there's every time you watch it, a little bit more reveals itself. Like his name's Joe Cross. Like he's JC. He ends up being a martyr for a cause that he doesn't want, that he was actually actively against. And
yes,
his final denouement, I laughed so hard in the cinema, and
yes,
I was the
the new
only person.
yeah, yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
you know, how he can end up there. By the way, Joaquin Phoenix, great. Pedro Pascal, great. Luke Grimes, great. All of them great. Emma Stone, always great. Perfect use of Austin Butler. Austin Butler
Yeah.
is so good in this role. He, like, I
I
think
think
he's
he had
a,
a low key very good year. Yeah,
yeah, well, I think
yeah,
he's, you know, I think he's a pretty good actor that's willing to take some shots. And I would love to see him in something, you know, fully formed that centers around him playing that type of character because he was
yes.
so low key funny.
Um, yeah, I don't know like what vibe he gives me of sort of the 90s sort of breakout stars, but he's probably closest to Pitt at this stage, or maybe.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. You know, he's,
He's got charisma, he seems to have a sense of humor.
yeah,
Hasn't done anything to get cancelled yet.
yeah.
So, yep, give him time, but that's fine.
No, no, no. Let's just
Uh,
believe in him until something, in case something bad happens. No need to set them up to fail. Um, so that's my number seven. Number six is a movie I just saw recently, and that was Marty Supreme. And
right.
this is this is a movie set in the 50s that feels like it was made in the 70s with an 80s soundtrack where Timothy Chalamet plays one of the most reprehensible characters I've seen in cinema all year, and I
Yeah, I'm
couldn't
looking
take
for
my
it.
eyes away.
Yeah.
So good. So good. It's set in 1952, New York City. Marty Mauser works as a shoe salesman while also competing professionally as a ping pong player. He plans to win the British Open and defeat defending champion Bella Kletsky to bring American attention to the sport. And it plays out from there. This is directed by Josh Safdie. This is a roller coaster ride. It's got kinetic energy in every scene. It has Gwyneth Paltrow just crushing it. Abel Ferreira turns up. Fran Drescher plays the mum. It's Odessa Azion as the girlfriend. So good. It is a really, really compelling and great film. And Chalamet, once again, just top of the class when it comes to his generation.
Is it based on an actual character
Yeah,
or
yeah,
actual? Yep.
loosely based on a guy who lived this life, but you know, dials him up to, you know, out of respect for Rob Reiner, up to 11. You know,
Yeah.
he is so awful, and but there's something clever about the performance in that I don't like him, and he's terrible. But there is a level of empathy that you can find in him, and
Is
he
it
does.
doing? Yep.
Sorry, what was that?
Is it doing spoilers to describe how he's such an asshole?
Well, he's just completely self-centered, and it's to
Right.
the detriment of everybody else. But he does come from nothing. He comes from, and this is a guy trying to uh, get somewhere, no matter what, and believing in himself. And it's kind of a critique of uh, American exceptionalism post World War II and that 1950s we can do anything kind of attitude, unchecked, unfettered,
Yep. Cool.
and potentially potentially a sense of redemption towards the end, but maybe not. I don't know. But I've only had an opportunity to see this once. Maybe if I'd seen this a second time, it might have hit the top five. But I thought this was one of the most compelling films of the year.
So I didn't see either. I haven't seen this yet, and I haven't seen the Smashing Machine. Have you seen the Smashing Machine
I haven't
by the
seen
other?
the Smashing Machine. I just it just
Nah.
doesn't interest me.
Marty Supreme definitely gives interests me, but the Smashing Machine and The Rock being a serious boy
Hmm.
doesn't really, yeah, with poor Emily Blunt being stuck in the thankless task of you know pumping that up doesn't
Yeah.
really do me. No.
I got a little bit put off with some of the publicity of, it was kind of like this weird thing where The Rock was like, finally I get to show you what I can really do. And it's like, mate, you're the producer of most of your movies.
Yes, you've been quite happy to be the the tipping point in the DC universe or whatever when you thought it was going to be commercially successful, but now you've been humbled a little bit and
Yeah. And
you're distressing with less weight.
yeah.
Um,
And that movie did not do well.
no, no, I didn't.
Anyway.
But yeah, just wondering.
Um, Coming in at number five was a film that completely blindsided me. And I was not prepared for this at all. It's Train Dreams starring Joel Edgerton. Have you had an opportunity to see this?
It's probably the next two things I watch before.
Yeah,
Yeah, yep,
before the
before.
family gets back.
Yeah, pretty much. So this and Richard Linklater's Blue Moon
Oh
would be my
yeah,
talk. Yeah,
yeah,
yep,
yeah. I saw
yep.
Nouvelle Vague, which I
Okay,
loved, and I can't wait to see Blue Moon.
yeah,
Train Dreams recounts the 80 years of the life of Robert Granier. You see him arriving in the area of Bonners Ferry, Idaho, on the Great Northern Railway as an orphan child, and essentially you just follow this man's life. So it is a movie where character is plot. He is not an overly gregarious character. He's not overly articulate, but you go through this real uh, journey of his life. His marriage to his wife, played by Felicity Jones, who's fantastic. Kerry Condon turns up, who's always great. William H. Macy, probably in the best role I've seen him in for a long time. It's a kind of environmental movie about the way industry changes, how things progress, and what that does to the surroundings. And it's Joel Edgerton's best performance. And when it ended, right towards the end, you have a moment where he experiences something and it probably gives him a sense of attachment to the world that he's lived in and always been slightly removed from. I
right.
found it incredibly moving, and I've never been more grateful to have dishes to do after a film because I didn't put on any music, didn't put on a podcast or anything. I just stared at the wall and did the dishes and thought about this film.
This was Netflix. Did it come out in the cinema as well? Or
It came out in the cinema and I couldn't get to it because it
right?
was a
Okay.
limited run and I
Yeah.
was on the road. I had gigs every night. I just couldn't get there. And that was the only disappointment I had with the film was I wanted to see it at the cinema and I never got to it. But it is beautiful.
Okay.
Directed by Clint Bentley, screenplay by Clint Bentley and Greg Quetta. I think this will really appeal to you when you get an
Okay.
opportunity to see it.
Double feature tonight, probably. Yep.
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 Coming in at number four, 28 years later.
Yes.
I loved this film. This is so we start in 2002 during the initial outbreak of the rage virus, where we see a young boy, Jimmy Crystal, fleeing his house in the Scottish Highlands as his family are attacked by the infected. And then we head to 28 years after the second outbreak. The rage virus has been eradicated from Europe, and the British Isles are under indefinite quarantine with a few survivors. And there's a civilized community on Lindisfarne, an island defended naturally from Great Britain by a causeway that floods with the tide. And we see uh, Jamie, who is a scavenger, take his 12-year-old son to the island to become a man, basically, become a man, young Spike. But Spike learns lessons, and soon it becomes a very different film. And I didn't really know what to expect with this movie, and I still was absolutely pleasantly surprised with where it went, how it changes tone halfway through it. So the first half is a very masculine story, and by the
Yep.
second half, it's a very feminine story. I've heard people say that the very end of the film took them out of the movie, but I think those people are forgetting how the movie begins. Like the
Well, I
book
mean, the
ends.
Teletubbies at the start, I was going to say one of the most upsetting things about the first, 15
Yeah,
minutes was like
yeah,
being reminded that those fuckers existed.
yeah, exactly. The end of
And
the
then the
film.
priest gets murdered, whatever. But, the fucking Teletubbies.
Yeah, right. But
And that's the era where, like, no, they get cut off from civilization before anyone knows that the guy that turns up at the end with, the guy the cult's based on
yeah,
did what he did.
yeah.
So society's cooked.
Mate, it makes it
Yep.
makes complete sense. And as I said, people saying, "Oh, that ending was like a completely different film." It's like, no, it wasn't. It was exactly like the start of the film, and
Yep.
it's just taking you in this fantastic direction that you're not expecting. And I saw the trailer for the second film and went, right, that's the last time I'm watching that because I'll be there
Yeah. I
on
read
opening
an
day.
interview with the director Nia DaCosta the other day, and yeah, I'm very, very pumped for that.
Yes.
It's out next month too, so
Yeah, yeah, like in a couple of weeks, like it's really soon.
I've got to
Um,
say one of the things that most satisfied me about this was reading another article after it where they did say that they're all stunt cocks, and
yes.
I was like, thank God.
Yeah,
But also like the rationale was that like it was for child protection,
right,
so they couldn't have real cocks out, but
right.
they could have fake cocks out around the kids, and I'm like, okay, well, explain to me how that works. Um,
Well, I guess it's like
yeah,
it's the difference between a an accurate drawing and a caricature.
yes. It was pretty it's pretty hilarious. That boy I mean the kid from adolescence is like gonna have some trauma from Samson to begin with.
So
The
good.
bar's been set, as it were, very high. Uh,
Yeah, it was a wild film. It plays around with your expectations, it undercuts them.
yep,
Ray Fine, just always good and brilliant in this role, and surprisingly moving in the end. Jodie Comer,
yep.
great. Aaron Taylor Johnson,
Aaron,
probably.
I was gonna say, I mean, have you seen Speak No Evil with James McAvoy, the remake?
No, I haven't. Is that good?
It is quite good, but I mean, I could see Aaron Taylor Johnson sort of shooting for that sort of performance.
Right.
The sort of the seething rage of the sort of English, middle class bloke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did okay.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and definitely, I guess hit the beats of being a insufferable, selfish prick. In that scenario.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought this was a pretty fantastic film, and my one fear had been like it did all right at the box office, like it made money, but Alex Garland said he came up with an idea for three, and
yes,
we were definitely getting the second one because it was being made at the same time,
yeah.
and I've been very heartened to see that they've given the green light to the third film.
I just had a thought, and maybe the Jimmies actually they're mortal enemies of the Russell Brands at this point.
Well,
Uh,
they would have delightfully
oh,
never known Russell
no, no,
Brand.
no, he was around. He was like in that sort of. He was doing MTV then. That would be a sort of.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
obviously not going to happen, but it would be an interesting tangent there.
Oh dear. Well, that would
Probably
well
wouldn't
was
want
yeah. Less Russell Brand in my life is always a an absolute positive.
none for
Yeah.
sure.
Never bought into him.
Never.
Nah.
No. In my defense, it was 2005, and we're all doing lots of other things that didn't involve going to work.
Right.
We had
Yeah.
one of those houses. Yeah, it
Nah.
was a while ago. Yep,
I know. Sometimes I have my
the radar's on.
well, you know what? I got it from my mum. My mum is
Yeah,
very good at just going, no. Then you go, oh, come on. What are you doing? Why are you acting like that? And then later on, something happens and you go, oh, God, she was right. How did she do that?
I
So,
think it was because like there was like a sort of because I grew up with like Ken Dodd and stuff like that, and
Mm.
there's some sort of connection there in terms of that Cockney character.
Hmm.
Obviously, all character, but anyway, moving
Hmm.
along.
Moving along. Coming in at number three, probably the hardest number three I've had to land on. This could have easily been number one. Number three for me is One Battle After Another,
Yep.
where we see the French 75, a far left revolutionary group, breaking into a detained immigrant detention center in Haute-Mesa, where they not only free people, but one person in particular, Perfidia Beverly Hills, makes a long time enemy slash obsessed stalker in the process with Stephen J. Lockjaw. Uh, this is that like the fact that the prologue goes for about 40 minutes
Yes.
is gives you an epic sense of where this film goes, and the movie jumps forward to when Perfidia's daughter and her husband that she has left behind once again being chased by this Lockjaw character. It's kind of better for anyone who hasn't seen it to kind of speak opaquely about it, but I thought this was thrilling. I thought it was really funny. I thought the soundtrack was perfect. It's 1A and 1B with another soundtrack for me for this year. And DiCaprio is really funny, and it has sparked a lot of discussion for many different reasons, which I think is also the sign of a really great film. And it does feel like weirdly the less cynical version of Eddington, or in not of Eddington, but in conversation with Eddington.
In conversation with, and we did a podcast on it too, so you can all
Yeah,
find thought
yeah,
over informed version there. Yeah.
yeah.
I loved it. I was back in the cinema a couple of days later to see it again, which is it's a bit more difficult to do, but I had to see it twice as quickly as possible because first I just wanted to see if it washed over me the same way,
Yeah,
you know, being taken by surprise just by the sort of the pace and the sort of just the absolute momentum of the thing.
yeah,
Which like you go in and you sort of like films are longer these days, but the 3 hour runtime sort of looms over you in some circumstances.
yeah.
Mainly, if you have to be somewhere or whatever. But like this just absolutely flew.
This is a prime example of it's
Yeah,
not the length of a movie, it's how long a movie should take.
that's right.
And this,
And
I was surprised the second time I saw it that it moved quicker for me.
yes, yeah, same. And I mean, just the edit is so tight, and there's no fat on it.
Yeah,
The score just travels with you throughout the whole thing. Like there's nothing spare on it. Just not a perfect movie, but yeah, definitely one that reminds you, why you go as the
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
especially for something that's actually made a reasonable amount of money
It's
based on
done.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
done. For a PTA movie, he's notoriously not big at the box office, and
yeah,
you know, I try not to talk about box office as much
yes,
as possible, but it's important for an original film to be making some good coin to,
yeah,
I'd like to see what he does again with a budget like this.
yeah. I mean, if he sort of stretches into Sergio Leone territory or something, and starts making some cool westerns or modern westerns, or goes down that track,
Yeah.
which seems to be he's interested in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because there was really two westerns with Eddington as well, and this,
yeah. Yeah.
so it'd be very interesting.
Uh we did do a whole podcast on this, so I'll leave it to that. But yeah, like honestly, one of the hardest films to pick at coming in at number three, and I feel this way about
For
my
sure.
number two film as well, which is Sinners. Uh, I thought this was an outstanding movie, and it had my favorite scene in a movie all year. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's about a young boy who is a blues singer, preacher boy, who hooks up with, in 1932, identical twins and World War One veterans, Elijah Smoke and Elias Stack Moore. who are going to open up using stolen money from criminal syndicates a juke joint for the local black community, and it's a looking like it's going to be a big hit when some Irish vampires come across it. This is a vampire film. This is a story about African American mythology. It's about how everyone can be. There's not just one type of other in a community. It's about the blues. It's got the Robert Johnson kind of blues mythology, and it's also just got, apart from all of these themes, Michael B. Jordan in a fucking tank top with an AK-47 mowing down KKK members, and it's great.
Yep, that's the parting shot.
It's like Coogler hits you with all this stuff,
I
and then
guess
he just goes,
and Michael B. Jordan in the B-boy outfit from the early 90s,
"Oh yeah, yeah,
with Haley Stanfield as well. Yeah.
yeah, yeah." It just never stops giving, and it's like
1-2.
Yeah, Coogler kind of makes you. I'm going to have you sit through all these heady moments, and now I'm just going to reward you with him mowing down a whole lot of bad people. But
Yeah.
the moment when Preacher Boy sings and all time coalesces into one, and we see,
Yeah.
past, present, and future singing and dancing, and the juke joint kind of metaphorically catching on fire. It's the best scene or cinematic experience I had this year. I just thought it was pitch perfect. I loved it.
And yeah, it's just, it's so great to see, that original, concept actually make it to the screen
Yeah,
and be successful
yeah,
from, from a guy who could easily have been making Black Panther 3 right now, probably,
yeah,
and probably is now. But he got he's taken that the project, and it's his.
yeah. Coogler's great.
So he's beaten Netflix to the punch on, getting hold of the rights to the Sinners,
Yeah,
I suppose. Just
yeah.
another win this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Down the track at least.
Yeah.
It is got a soundtrack by Ludwig Göransson, which is one. That's the 1A 1B with Johnny Greenwood
Mm.
soundtrack for One Battle After Another. I think it's just kind of perfect. Also, all the actors in it are great. Wunmi Masako, Haley Steinfeld's always been a ripper of a little actor, and she's just still fantastic. But Michael B. Jordan playing twins. I saw Christopher Nolan hosted a screening of Sinners and then interviewed Coogler at the start, and Coogler talked about how MBJ didn't try to play the differences; he tried to play the similarities, and then
Right.
allow the differences to kind of show through a little bit more subtly. And it's one of those films, the first time you see it, you're so overwhelmed with everything that's going on. And then when you watch it the second time, you go, oh, you helped me out early on with color schemes, but
Yes.
by the time all of that's been reduced to everyone's covered in blood, you know which one is which at every
Oh yeah. Very
moment.
distinct performance. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
And I was listening to there was a podcast counting down sort of like the best sort of twin performances of the year too.
yeah,
You know, and some, pretty daft, like the Superman Bizarro performance with David Corenswet and all the rest. And yeah, Michael
yeah.
B. Jordan sort of shot to the top of that. I think Severance season 2, everyone played doppelgangers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Inside, outside. Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, a big year for sort of people playing twins or doppelgangers as well.
yeah. Elle Fanning in Predator Badlands.
Yeah, yeah,
That was great. But MBJ, he was the only one I think. Well, he was the one who was interacting, not just in aggressive ways, but in friendly ways with
yeah,
the
and just
doppelganger.
absolutely seamlessly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so good, so good.
yeah,
All right. Also, I read a thing with Coogler as well, where his original script for Wakanda Forever was, and he'd sent it to Boseman, but poor Chadwick Boseman was too sick
yes,
to even really read it and get back to him in the end. But it was going to be T'Challa. There's a Wakandan tradition where um, a man has to take his son out into the desert or whatever for 8 days without anything, and they have to bond over this period, and the son has to do what he's being told, but he can ask any question that he wants. And while the two of them are going through this bond that can't be broken and is a tradition that everyone carries out when a boy gets to the age of 8, that's when Namor attacked. And so they'd have to be dealing with this situation while going through this tradition that can't be broken. And it's like, oh, that's a
Right.
shame. Lots of people give that movie shit, and it's like, like I know it's not perfect, but to point out its flaws feels churlish to me, considering everyone in that movie is grieving when they make it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I, I can't remember the exact sort of was it basically in production
Yeah,
when
the screenplay was, ready to go,
yeah,
and and look, if like if I was kind of in charge, I would have just put it on hold for
exactly.
everybody.
After the machine grinds on, and yeah, they did it under those circumstances was where I was
Yeah,
going. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's flawed, but
Yeah.
it's
Why wasn't Namor muscly? What's going on there?
no,
That was
yeah.
I saw as well. Why wasn't
uh,
he in the fucking gym?
yeah, well, I thought they, considering everything they were going through, I think they did a
Yeah, for sure.
phenomenal job. But anyway, I would like to have seen that film as well. That
Oh,
sounds
absolutely. Yeah.
would have
Yeah.
been tasty. My number one film for the year is Sentimental Value. This is just a pitch perfect movie to me. This is completely in my wheelhouse. It's the new Joachim Trier film,
Mhm.
who last made The Worst Person in the World.
Yeah.
This is a story about film director Gustav Borg, who has returned to his daughter's lives after their mother has died. He is wanting to make a new film, and he wants his eldest daughter to be the star of it. And it's a family drama in that way. It feels like a modern Bergman film. Stellan Skarsgård as the lead character is, as always, phenomenal. He's Stellan Skarsgård is probably Renate Reinsve. I never get her name completely correct, but anyway, I loved her in The Worst Person in the World, and she is phenomenal in this. I think it's a really restrained film. Like I've seen people complain that there is like that it's cold and that there's not any obvious catharsis, but it's real, and it's not Americanized in any way. It's everything that happens is uh, is familiar. Like when people react, it's real, and there
Right.
aren't these big proclamations of emotions, and there are moments when you hope for something to happen and it doesn't happen, but if you're paying attention, it happens in a more subtle and restrained way, and there is catharsis to the film. Elle Fanning as the American actress is sublime and could have easily been a character that is a, a caricature of a young popular female actress, but her character has surprising depth and insight that sometimes the main characters miss out on. Also, the other sister, who I had never seen before, Inga Lilias, is just as good as anyone else in this film, and I thought this was
Right.
a perfect movie. And Joachim Trier is in my top tier of directors after seeing Rectify and I think it's August 31st, Oslo, August 31st, something like that. He's just uh, brilliant, and I can't wait for any of his films when I know that they're on their way out.
Yeah, amazing.
So
And is that
tough.
streaming now or
No, no, that's just been released at the cinema
right? Okay.
in Australia, that is.
Right. Okay. Yes. Well. Awesome.
So it did the festivals and
Right.
things like that. So that's kind of once a movie's done the festivals, it takes a little bit longer to come out. But yeah, it kind of had some real Oscar buzz early on, and then it got released in America, and I'd be listening to American podcasts, and they'd be like, "I just didn't relate to it. I thought it was really cold." And it's like, yeah, but you guys have been brought up on movies that tell you what they're feeling, whereas this is a film that you have to watch and
That's
you have
emotional
to
intelligence,
well, you have to you can't be passive. You have to be an active participant in the movie, and if you are, you'll be absolutely rewarded. But
Yes.
yeah,
Sounds
and
amazing. Yeah.
yeah. So they're my top 10. What films did I leave out that you may have had?
Um. Oh, look, I love Soderbergh, and I think Black Bag.
Black Bag is in my
I,
honorable mentions.
we'll stick. We'll wait for that one then. I mean,
Mm,
um,
we can discuss it now. I thought Black Bag was fantastic.
I mean, just when Soderbergh's in that sort of jazzy, sort of like fun mode. I
Mm,
mean, he's great no matter what. But just watching all those actors sort of circle one another.
yeah.
In that, you know, I think I wrote on Letterboxd at the time. I think the perfect sort of Avengers post credit scene would be like hearing the couple, Kate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender, getting ready for bed. Then there's a fart in the closet, and Jackson Lamb steps up and goes, "Oi, we team up time." If they existed in that same universe,
Yeah.
made my year. But yeah, just the slickness of it, and just yeah. I don't think Soderbergh misses when he's doing like fun sort of. I guess they're larks, but they're good, just cleanly made cinema.
Yep.
You're going to get a good time out of, and great performances.
Yep.
Yes, Brosnan's in there.
Yep.
Always nice to see him.
Yep.
And just the central conceit of just trying to weed out the mole, really.
Yeah. I,
And not trusting your partner,
yep.
marital sort of discord. Yeah,
To be honest, it was number 10. And then I remembered as I was going through my list, and then it was between that and Warfare. I
right.
thought Warfare was just a little bit more unique.
Yes, yep. Uh,
So,
I think the other thing I saw that really stuck out for me this year was The Shrouds, which is Cronenberg's
right.
most recent film after the death of his wife.
Yep.
And I think it technically came out last year, but I think that was the festival run, and I saw it in London in sort of mid-June or something like that. And that's, it's a massive bummer, and it's not a film you recommend per se. I think much like Bring Her Back, which is something else that from this year in that sort of key,
Yeah.
like in terms, yeah, it's about a guy who's clearly based on Cronenberg, played by Vincent Cassel, who's invented a technology where you can watch your spouse decompose in the grave. And then it basically becomes the very, very Cronenberg-esque sexy wounds and decomposition sort of film when he meets basically the doppelganger of his wife is still out there, and
Right.
they start to play act and get into all the business there.
Right.
And just very Cronenbergian, very upsetting, very contemplative in terms of mortality.
Yep.
So it's a massive bummer, but always fun to see him go there.
Yeah. Everyone I know who saw it said it was a massive bummer, and that's why it's on my to-do list. I'm waiting.
Yes, yeah.
Just
I mean, yeah, I may add, I sort of in terms of Australian film, I would maybe add Bring Her Back to the list, but that's another one that's a
yeah,
massive
so
bummer and
also on my
terrible.
to-do list for the same reason.
I mean, it's set in Adelaide. There's a level of grimness that like the Adelaide setting adds to the
Yeah.
entire deal. If sort of quirky ladies who live in the hills,
Yeah.
you sort of skin prickles when you see that character turn up,
Yeah.
and it's all downhill from there.
Yeah.
Very effective, but yeah, never again.
Yeah. Yeah. As I said, I'll wait till I'm good
Yeah,
to
in the
go with
right
that.
headspace. Yeah, for sure.
Um, I'm a Wes Anderson fan, so I thoroughly enjoyed The Phoenician Scheme. I know him that film not making the top 10 is a little bit victim of just the standard that he keeps hitting. I understand he's a
Yes.
an acquired taste, but if you enjoy his films, thought this was great. Benicio del Toro, just on a heater this year.
Well, I think that's what sort of has intrigued me to keep it on the list was Del Toro, especially after One Battle. Obviously very different characters from the sound of it, but
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a boss.
yeah, he's great. I saw The Last Showgirl this year
Right.
with Pamela Anderson, which I thought was great. Maybe just maybe possibly a little bit too slight, but uh, kind of it's kind of fascinating to see this movie about a showgirl in Vegas who's being replaced, and you know, you kind of go through this journey with this character who is she's a little bit crazy and maybe
Yeah.
has there's something interesting about someone who's possibly followed their dreams for too long, and also you get to a point where you wonder, God, are you actually any good? Like, I don't know if you're good, you know?
Right.
So it's quite confronting in that way. Jamie Lee Curtis turns up and is, as you
Oh,
can imagine, pretty fantastic. Um, I know this film was flawed, but I still really enjoyed Mickey 17.
yeah, I thought I had a really good time with it. I
Yeah,
think it's lesser Bong Joon-ho, but I think lesser Bong Joon-ho is still pretty great.
yeah,
It definitely sort of beat you over the head with the themes
yeah,
and didn't the sort of subtext was sort of fingernail deep.
yeah,
Yeah, and it was one of those Mark Ruffalo performances we talked about yesterday that might be on the brink of too much.
yeah.
But Robert Pattinson was amazing. Yeah, great performance.
Pattinson, another doppelganger performance.
And it's another one of those ones I feel like exists, in my head in sort of like the canon of maybe like Starship Troopers or something,
Right.
where like there's a broader universe where, because you'd send Mickey 17 first just to get
Yeah,
replicate death. But, don't send the Marines, just send that guy.
yeah,
Just let bugs eat him first for a couple 100 years.
yeah,
But yeah, great concept. I haven't read the book, but yeah, I thought, yeah, it was in terms of that, again, it's Gilliam-esque sort of like sci-fi satire.
yeah.
Yeah, he does it well.
Yeah, I thought it was really fun, and like I saw it the first time, really enjoyed it. Then it got a lot of negative press, and in my head, I was like, maybe it wasn't that good. Then I watched it a second time. I was like, no, this was exactly
Yeah,
as good as I enjoyed it the first time, and
yeah,
yeah,
another great twin performance, or
yeah,
maybe not even twins, like
yeah,
dozens.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, exactly. Another film that seemed to get a lot of people just being really down on it, but when I saw it at the cinema, everyone in that cinema was having a good time, was The Naked Gun.
right. I was going to say you're doing the Pamela Anderson one too. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. It was I went with my mate Tom, and that cinema was laughing hard, and it's got, you know, lots of dumb jokes, and they're done well, and I don't know. It was like I think if you sit at home watching it by yourself, you're going to go, "This is stupid." But if you
yeah,
watch it in a room with a lot of people just laughing at dumbass jokes, I thought it was perfectly fine.
yeah. I think I'm going to give that a crack soon too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I also enjoyed Predator Badlands, but I'm not.
yeah.
I understand people's pushback against the Disneyfication of it, but I'm not really that tethered to the original. So
No,
I enjoyed it for what they
no.
presented to me.
There's been nearly 40 years of them doing pretty shit versions too, or variations on it. So,
Yeah,
for Dan Trachtenberg to come around, someone who's got a sort of idea of where he wants the franchise to go,
yeah,
I had a lot of fun with it. And, you know, he's making, sure, it's a little bit defanged, but who needs to see more people being shot and eviscerated,
yeah.
honestly. Yeah.
And, and
Let go in another direction. And this is fun.
yeah, and the last line made me laugh really hard.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
and there's a lot of I was on the Predator wiki and the Predator Reddit and all the rest, and there's all that lore out there that may get folded into another film. It seems like it did all right. It
yeah,
didn't cost that much to make.
yeah,
It was a good time. And probably the better of the two Alien oriented franchise sort of entries this year on reflection.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
kind of definitely had more fun in one. Um,
yeah,
Elle Fanning had a pretty terrific year playing the
yep,
love interest of Bob Dylan, the one of the actresses in Sentimental Value, and then a kick-ass robot and an asshole robot in
yeah,
Predator Badlands. Great.
yep, yeah. We did a bit of a podcast on that one that you can find as well.
Yeah. Also, I really enjoyed Begonia.
Yes, yep,
Yeah, the Yorgos Lanthimos film. Jesse Plemons is just out of control, good in it. Emma Stone, always good, and another one that
it's
made me
heartbreaking.
laugh.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
got lots of eat the rich. It's very on point.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
um, and yeah, the as we said at the time, yeah, the performance from the first time actor in it as well is like devastating.
yeah.
Yeah,
So good. Yeah, I know.
yeah,
And it's
devastating.
devastating. It's correct. Yeah. And then I've got just five movies that all technically came out in 2024.
Yep,
And look, they would have, if I was to include these in this year's top 10, uh, in all honesty, it would have been pretty hard uh, to know how to do this, in all honesty. But we don't have to really. We'll linger on one,
for sure.
which I know that you have as a mention as well. But I loved Conclave. I thought it was great. I know lots of
Yep,
people don't like the twist. I was completely fine with the twist. It's
yeah,
I think it's funnier than people give it credit for, and I thought it was pretty great.
yeah. I mean, there aren't many sort of theological thrillers made in the the 2000s, the 21st century.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was fun to see Ray Fine be a bitchy little prick in his little cassock and sort of get around and pretend he didn't want to be Pope.
Oh yeah, so quietly spoken as well. Well,
Yes,
I don't know if he did want to be Pope, but he did
I don't
start to
know.
think he wanted to
I-
be at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
Or yeah,
Yeah, Stanley Tucci, also a great
uh,
John Lithgow.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
All of those actors were like pitching 100 all the way
yeah,
through it. So
yeah.
Conclave was great. I loved Honora. I thought Mikey Madison was, just a whirling dervish in that film. Um, Look, I really enjoyed The Brutalist, and I just won't rewatch it for a while until I can
No,
forget about Adrian Brody's speech at the Oscars, which immediately made me wish they'd given it to Timothy Chalamet.
yeah, I don't even remember what was his speech. Was it how self-aggrandizing was it?
Mate, it was fucking long. And when they tried to play the music, he told them to hold off on the music. It's not his first rodeo.
Or maybe you should, yeah, you read the room.
Mate, he's not reading the room. He's too busy reading himself. He is a flog, but he's such a good actor, and he's really good in that as well. So,
Yeah.
and also A Different Man. I only saw that
Oh
this
yeah.
year, and
Yep.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, and Sebastian Stan, just stop being Bucky because
Yeah,
the performances in, The Apprentice was last year as well.
yeah,
Donald Trump flick, which, whether you avoided it because it was a Donald Trump flick or not, a great performance from him.
yeah,
I really, really sold just
yeah,
the psychopathy at the heart of the whole deal.
yeah. If I worked for Marvel and I saw Sebastian Stan in other films, I'd feel immediately embarrassed.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I know we're not going to do any sort of, worst of bashing, but like to put him through Captain America, Brave New World in the same year he was in A Different Man, or even to put him through Thunderbolts to some extent.
Right.
mm, you know, he's such a talented dude.
Yeah. Did
Um,
you watch the new Captain America?
do I admit it on here? Sure, yeah, I did. I had a Cinebuzz free ticket. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
no, no, that's all right. Sometimes
I
you
thought
just feel like seeing a movie and that's all
I'm
that's
in
on.
therapy. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's awful. And just I mean, looking at what they're doing now, it feels like a real kick in the guts in terms of the Sam Wilson character and Anthony Mackie as well.
mm,
To sort of put him in this very, they were sort of talking about it in terms of it being another Civil War style political intrigue thing.
mm,
But the politics are all very sort of bland.
mm,
Um, Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross slash Red Hulk.
Mm,
The leaders in it, they're dredging up stuff from like 20 years ago with the Incredible Hulk film.
mm.
Uh, just, just blah. I mean, it came out in February, so there's not much more to say, really.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
just got dropped.
yeah.
Um, I'm not sure it's got Giancarlo Esposito in it. It's got a pretty
Mm,
good cast,
mm.
but it goes nowhere,
Yeah,
and means nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
It goes nowhere and means nothing. What a
there's an end credit tease to something that is very vague and will also never happen. So
right. Okay.
yeah,
Uh,
but it's
I-
good to see Mike Nelson back, you know,
yeah, yeah,
as the leader for
yeah,
some reason. Yeah.
yeah. You know what I didn't put in the honorable mentions, which I should, is Superman. I really enjoyed
I
Superman
was
as
about
well.
to talk Superman as like the superhero flick of the year for sure.
Yeah,
You know,
had a really good time.
yeah, the most, just earnest, good values.
Yeah, yeah,
All the
funny.
yeah, all the things that Superman should, espouse.
Yeah,
Uh, that sort of started in media res. You weren't sort of left with an origin or anything like that.
no, it
Just
was,
go for it.
that's like Adam Richards said. It's like when you're a kid and you just picked a comic up off the newsstand, and you
Yeah.
immediately just you didn't need things to be introduced. You just
No,
went, oh, this is the universe. This is where I am.
I remember picking up like Superpowers #4.
Right.
It didn't have one, two, or three, but it's like, okay, well, here we are. And that was sort of the same vibe with this.
Yeah.
Just yeah, and I like the fact I think James Gunn is probably going to settle into sort of that late 80s, probably DC Universe vibe that
Mm.
he probably grew up with
Yeah.
and that we're most aware of, which is like a little bit less self-serious.
Yeah.
Using Guy Gardner was a good sort of, flag signpost on that one.
Yeah.
Just it's not all life or death stakes.
Yeah. I
There's a
couldn't
lot,
believe how good Mr. Terrific was.
yeah, yeah.
You know.
Um, they'll like the fact the Supergirl flick coming out of this looks, like a big cosmic adventure.
Yeah.
That's tonally quite different,
Yeah.
and yeah, I've got some fun. Yeah, I like Superman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where
And,
and Zack Snyder sort of sitting on the sideline posting photos of Henry Cavill while it's all going on. It's like, just fucking okay, get over it.
yeah.
You know, yeah,
I,
sour grapes, mate.
I still feel sorry for Cavill. I think Cavill had the makings of a good Superman and just never really quite got the right
Well, no,
movie.
yeah, there wasn't the right material there for him. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Anyway,
probably the first Superman movie where he doesn't save Lois at any point.
she doesn't need saving. No,
Yeah, it's
which is
good.
the point of Lois. Oh, yeah, yeah. No, it's great. Um, yeah, Rachel Brosnahan, great casting there as well.
Yeah, and Corin Sweat was
Look,
great too.
yeah, and is Jay Kelly in your list at any stage? Or
Yeah, look, I really enjoyed
I was
Jay
gonna say,
Kelly,
yeah,
but it's
Black Panther man is going to be Brainiac in the next one. So
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Jay Kelly. So Jay Kelly to me really suffers from sentimental value coming out because to me
right,
sentimental value
too soft.
isn't afraid to like they're not one for one films, but sentimental value uh isn't afraid to let the characters be flawed and at times a little bit gross, like, but also not overreacting to things. Like at one point,
Mhm.
the Stellan Skarsgård's character buys presents for his grandson, who is like 7 or something like that. 8, I can't quite remember. But the present is DVDs, and they're all sexy art house films. And he's saying,
Right,
Monica Bellucci, she will make you a man. And the sisters look at
Enzo
each
Bra, see you.
yeah, and the
Yeah,
sisters, it's so funny. And the sisters look at each other and roll their eyes, and they're like, he doesn't even know what a DVD is. Like, and in any other film, that would become a really boring plot point. But in this, it's just
yeah.
like, oh, Dad, which is what would happen. And Jay Kelly
Oh, yeah.
suffers from, uh, you've got Clooney and Sandler who are so good together in the film, but
Mm,
it complicates it to such an extent that it kind of doesn't really know what it's pitching. And what it should have been is a movie about a massive superstar actor who is having a crisis of confidence and in the process is affecting his best friend, who is also his manager. And it
Yes.
kind of comes together really well. And there's a couple of nice scenes, but it overcomplicates the film with stuff that it just isn't, it's not real, and
Yep. Yep.
that's not how people interact. And I think they blew two
Yeah, I
really
think
good performances.
for me, the scene in the train car where like everyone is just like, "Oh, look, it's God has arrived."
Yeah.
Like that's where I sort of really fell down for me.
Well,
Just yeah,
but it's also like that you can make that scene work, but the character who's the most interesting in that scene, we only get twice, which is the young girl who isn't that excited by him. Well,
yes,
have him sit with her, because then that's actually more interesting. But if what Noah Baumbach could have done much better is just have it keep it really simple. Jay Kelly is getting a retrospective at this Italian festival, and he goes and it brings up a lot of memories.
yes,
That's the film, and he's there with his
yeah,
manager, and you can have family and friends choosing not to come along, and each person, coming up with excuses triggers another memory that he has to, you know,
reckon, yeah,
yeah, yeah, and yeah, it just kind of frustrated me because I think Clooney's great in it, and I think Sandler's great, and I think they're both up for just let them be a little bit more flawed and let them be a little bit more damaged, and they will rise to the occasion. But instead, I think Noah Baumbach kind of and Emily Mortimer just kind of made it all a bit too cutesy.
it felt a little bit like a sort of Esquire sort of puff piece on Clooney that I read recently, where it was like he's perfect, don't worry,
Yeah,
it's floats through. And the
yeah.
other thing, I guess,
But Clooney's fucking great though. Like
it is
Clooney
great.
can do Michael Clayton. He can
But yeah,
do like he's got the range. It's the script and the direction that I think
yeah,
lets him down.
yeah. No, I found that was the frustration for me, and also the frustration that the retrospective didn't feature the bat skates or the bat credit card.
Well,
Um, Sense of humor, don't know.
I don't know. I think they
I was
if
like,
there's if
Peacemaker is
there's if there's one thing you can't fucking criticize Clooney for, it's him
I
owning fucking Batman. So,
just would have loved to have seen the bat skates click together. That would have made my day.
mate, he would have been up for it. He would have been up for it. I bet that probably would have been the price of the movie to get those
Yeah,
scenes.
get those. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Oh, and the one other film I wanted to mention I saw this year, which I think you saw this year as well, which I think might be my favorite animated film of all
Yeah.
time, is Flow.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So good that Ava and I saw it twice, or she saw
Oh
it
wow,
twice. She
wow,
loved it. I
yeah,
mean, just barely 5.5 when six maybe when it came. Yeah, it came out.
yeah,
But, she adored it. I mean, it's got a little cat with golden eyes. So some of the sort of more apocalyptic themes might have gone under the radar a bit.
yeah.
It's stunning, absolutely stunning film. And I mean, last year was The Wild Robot, which you probably didn't see because that's a little
No,
bit more kid-centered.
yeah.
Uh, but sort of two ecologically themed animated flicks that, you know, diverge in their approach, but definitely have similar ideas they're trying to sort of push. Um, but yeah, this one was just gorgeous, wasn't it?
Oh my God. Like I was mesmerized. I just
Yeah.
uh there was just a point where I was watching this at home, and once again I wish I'd, because I'm not really a big animated
Yeah.
guy. I realized I hadn't moved, and I kind of one of those rare times where I picked up my phone to look at how long I was into the movie, and I was like 70 minutes or something, and
Mhm.
was I just couldn't believe how mesmerized I was watching that film with the rising water and
Animals in peril every time.
every time. And the
Like it's not Disney. There's genuine peril. Well, Disney used to do peril,
yeah,
but um, yeah, just animals in peril, just trying to survive. Just really beautiful, wasn't it?
oh, stunning,
Yeah,
Stunning. So anyway, Conclave and Oriflow, The Brutalist and A Different Man, all thank God I can just kind of put them in that weird 2024 section because it would have made my 2025 top 10 a lot more difficult. Flow definitely would have knocked
yeah,
something out of the top five, I think.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Good year for films, and we have a big year coming next year. We've got
Gonna say we've got one more you missed.
what's that?
F1.
Oh, you know what? I really enjoyed F1 as well. And you know what?
Aspirational, the most aspirational film of the year.
Did you see F1 at IMAX?
I did not. I just saw it for way too much money on Apple TV. But
Uh,
yeah,
I have to say, so I saw it at a preview at Extreme Screen, and
right,
then I went and saw it at IMAX, and I have to say, it's one of those moments where you go, ah, Brad Pitt's performance makes so much more sense in IMAX.
right. Yeah.
Like
Okay.
it's a big screen performance.
Yeah.
And you know, it's as soon as it starts off with a bit of fucking Led Zeppelin and him
Oh yeah.
asleep,
That's
great.
just dad stuff all the way.
Yeah,
Living in a van, absolutely perfect.
yeah,
Life goals, they're all there.
yeah,
Just get a dog, Brad. That's the only thing you need to do in the in the sequel.
yeah. Well, you know, they
And if you drive against Cole Trickle in Days of Thunder 2 or some sort of crossover,
yeah,
better
yeah.
go.
All the car scenes were thrilling too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just technically stunning for sure. I mean, that's what reading about Joseph Kosinski, the director's sort of his the beginning of his career in design and sort of advertising, and
Yeah,
then the follow with Tron and Oblivion and everything else he's done. Like he's technically amazing.
yeah,
A lot of the time the flicks don't 100% hold together, but with this and Top Gun Maverick, he sort of pulled off the back-to-back dad movies of the last 5 years for sure.
yeah, yeah. It's like I know a number of people who saw Top Gun Maverick and just pillared it for all of its problems, and it's like, yeah, but you know what? It was fun. Like I wasn't
And they
sitting
actually
there.
did all stuff. Yeah, like it
Yeah,
was all in camera. Yeah,
yeah,
like it was technically impressive.
yeah.
You know, that's not my cup of tea generally. But at least
No,
Tom they both had age appropriate love interests.
yeah,
Great.
yeah,
Not like Ana de Armas in the Mission Impossible flick or anything.
yeah,
They were both within a decade. Great.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
No, it,
but I thought definitely, yeah, lived in the sort of basement of the year in terms of the actual films I loved, but
yes,
had
still had a good time.
yeah, very
Yeah.
good time. Yeah.
Also, Top Gun Maverick, you get to use the you can watch it for the movie that it really is, and you can also watch it for the movie where he disintegrates in that plane crash at the start, and the rest of the film is his fever
Dream.
dream as his skin melts off his bones. Makes it
It's
more
all
fun.
right because he just gets he just gets it lifted when it's not when it's
Yeah,
melted.
yeah. All right. And then next year we have new Fincher, we have new Denis Villeneuve, we have new Nolan, we have what else do we have? We have the next 28 years later. There's a lot of
One,
big
two,
films coming out.
28. Yeah, it's in about 2 weeks by Temple, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'll be.
I'm curious to see what this Narnia film will be like.
Oh, that's
Greta Gerwig.
Greta Gerwig. Yeah,
Yeah.
um,
So I'm up for it. I'm up
yeah,
for it.
lots of
And
stuff.
all these films, and then at the end of the year, we get to decide whether we want to go and watch the train wreck, otherwise known as Avengers Doomsday. Maybe it'll surprise
I
us.
think that'll be June Day for me, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe I will go and have a big New Year's Eve and then subject myself to it on January 1st,
Have
2027.
like 3 or 4 hour Avengers film. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, thank you. All right. That's great.
No,
Thanks for helping me out, Garth.
no worries. Have a good new year.
You too. Thank you to Garth Jones for coming in and helping me go through that list, we stopped recording, and then there were other movies that popped up that I couldn't believe that I hadn't mentioned. I really enjoyed the Knives Out film, and I also enjoyed The Mastermind with Josh O'Connor, just one of the great and exciting new actors who is really making his mark in the industry and will be appearing in a Steven Spielberg movie next year. So there, there are heaps of good movies, just heaps. So I hope if you haven't seen any of those, maybe that gives you a bit of incentive to go and check them out. And yeah, let me know what your favorite films were as well. That top 10 was really difficult, especially the top four for me were a lot of gnashing of teeth trying to work out where I landed on that. And who knows, maybe in 3 months' time it would be a little bit different, but that's where I landed at today. Thank you for being someone who has engaged with this podcast for today or for the year. It's been a fun run, and I'm looking forward to 2026. Just having a tiny little break at the moment just to find a bit of equilibrium and plenty of ideas and thoughts and projects to move forward with in 2026. If you would prefer to dig into more of the audio side of things over at patreon.com, you can find all sorts of bonus podcasts, live shows, works in progress, all sorts of bonus, dare I say it? No, I'm not going to say the dreaded C word, podcasts, stand-up comedy, blah, blah, blah. You can find that there. And if you prefer the writing side of things over at Substack, you can subscribe to, there's two blogs that you can kind of subscribe to. One is a free one, and there is also a paid side of things. So whichever suits you, you can check that out. And then the YouTube page is hopefully going to have some little bonus things there very soon. I'm going to upload one of the shows that I filmed and put it there for you, so you can check out some of my stand-up if that's something you would like to have a look at. Okay. Wow. Oh, by the way, you can find all of that at my website, justinhamilton.com.au. Just head to stuff, justinhamilton.com.au/stuff. Click on that, and you can find all the links for that stuff. Okay, I hope you've had a good festive season. I hope you have a fun New Year's planned, or heck, even if you have nothing planned for New Year's and that's what you want to do, well, you nailed it. So I hope it's a good one. I'll be back very soon with the new season. As I said, we'll just have a tiny little break, and yeah, then we'll be back with some of the stuff that we set up towards the end of the year, and possibly some new ideas as well. All right. We survived 2025. Good on us. I look forward to seeing you in 2026. Until then.